Please leave a comment below. What are your thoughts on the Honda Goldwing getting more tech than it already has? And in the case of the tech that there's talk of there being an introduction to, this adaptive cruise control, that's a little less invasive than something like DCT or learning how to shift manually differently than what you're accustomed to or what you've learned over the years. It's a little different there. It's less invasive in that you can have the system on. Wow, what the hell? You guys are really up today, huh? Jeez. Adaptive cruise control is less invasive than other technology in that you don't have to do much. You don't have to do anything. Either it's on or it's off. So maybe that's something that won't affect a lot of people's thinking with regard to whether or not it should be on a motorcycle or not. If it's on and you purchase the bike, fine. It's not going to bother me. Let it do its thing. If I can switch it off and I want it off, I'll turn it off. For you guys that feel that way about less invasive technology, leave a comment below. Yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about technology that doesn't seem to bother you. I have to tell you, for me personally, it got me thinking how and why I got into this motorcycling thing. And I have to tell you, before I was into motorcycles, I was like most young men. I was into cars. I like my cars. I like spending time in the car shops, getting them fixed up and keeping them clean, and had a lot of pride in my early automobile ownership. And I got into motorcycling, and it wasn't just to be free of the quote-unquote cage. It was because it allowed me to interact with this machine that had two wheels and an engine, and it was propelling me forward, and to me, that was fascinating. It still is. And when I hear of all of this tech that prohibits me from doing more or all of those things, or enhancing what's going on here when I throw a leg over a motorcycle, I get concerned. I mean, it doesn't bother me to the extent that I wouldn't ride it, because I'd ride anything. It just makes me think, how much is too much? We ride the 6th generation Honda Goldwing DCT Tour over here. And there are those out there with the previous generation, or those who like simpler bikes, if you will, who think that there's too much tech on this. And here we are reading articles about the possibility of additional tech. And we're not even talking about the impact on pricing. More and more technology that's found on cars, it's making its way to our beloved two-wheeled motorcycles. And that's something that's been going on for a while. There are technologies that are on this motorcycle that other motorcycle manufacturers like BMW, they've had on their bikes for years. I mentioned before on this channel that I had a 2002 BMW K1200 LT that's on their K platform. It's an inline motorcycle, and in 2002 I had an electric windshield, went up and down. I had heated seats, heated grips. We had that stuff. And in 2008, I loved that bike so much, that touring bike. In 2008, I purchased a 2008 BMW K1200T, and that one had all of that tech, plus an electric center stand. That's right. Me and Precious Cargo would get on that bike, I'd press that button, and that bike would raise all by itself. And you know what? There's some who thought that that was too much. Oh, what do you need that tech for? That's ridiculous. You guys who ride BMWs, you know the deal. You've always been at the forefront of introducing technology. And you gotta admit, back in the early 2000s, at least when I was riding them, we were pretty much the test dummies there, because they had an outstanding warranty that they still have, and things would go wrong, and you bring it to the dealer and they get fixed, but things would go wrong. The electronics would get funky. And it's a wonderful bike, guys. Look, whatever you're riding, and that's really the gist of this conversation here, and please leave a comment below. Let me know, what is it that you're riding? Are you happy with the tech on the bike? So what are your expectations for motorcycles in the future? We hear all this stuff, Euro this, Euro 19, Euro 99, Euro 6. What does it mean to us? We've all got our standards. Or these countries, USA standards are obviously more relaxed than some of the other standards, but you know what? Is it going to affect your motorcycle choice? Will you not get a GOLDWING or a BMW because it has that adaptive cruise and you don't want to pay the additional cost, or you're not going to use that tech? Sometimes you get tech and you don't even use it. I rode a 2006 VFR 1200X Honda's adventure bike with a huge V4 stonking engine that was just so good. Oh, that bike was so good. And I'll tell you what, engine, suspension, beautiful. There was no tech on that bike. There was none. The windshield had a nice little mechanism that where it went up and down, and there was no cruise control. Actually did an iron butt on that bike. No cruise control. And guess what? I enjoyed it immensely. Enjoyed it. And had it come in a DCT, and it did, if I was brave enough to purchase the DCT back then, I would have. And I would have probably still kept that bike if I learned to use that DCT system. Wonderful bike, but didn't have a lot of tech. Is it absolutely necessary for you to have a certain amount of tech on your bike in order for you to enjoy it? Thanks for coming along for the ride, guys. Really appreciate your support of the channel and your engagement. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll speak to you real soon. This is GB Winging It, and I am out.